fall, and I've seen an implosion in Las Vegas. There was too much similarities between the two. And then I saw the building fall. It didn't get hit by nothing. So, you know, how naive are we? Or, you know, what do they think we'll go for?
So are you saying you started having questions or that little voice in your head? I mean, did you have a bad feeling the day it happened? Is that what you're saying?
The day it happened, I saw one fall, and it was just so symmetrical. And I said, wait a minute, I just saw that last week at the, you know, a casino over in Las Vegas. And you see these implosions all the time, and then the next one fell. And I said, hell, there's another one. And they're trying to tell me that an airplane did it. And that's, you know, I can't go along with that.
And then you find out that mainstream news reported, but it never got any attention, that the supposed hijackers were given national security clearance and were trained at U.S. bases, and the dean of the Defense Language School, Colonel Butler, goes public and says, we train these people, the government's involved, and they start court-martialing until he agreed to shut up.
True story, I guess. I hate to hear it, but it's probably true.
You've had a chance to see, Terror Storm, Endgame, some of the other films. What's Willie Nelson's take on those films?
Oh, I think they're right on. I think, you know, the fact that there are a few elite that are running everything, calling the shots, starting the wars, financing them all, I believe that. And what else they're doing, who knows? But that one thing alone is enough for us to think about how do we stop them.
Well, the proof is in the pudding. If you've got on every issue 75 to 85 in all the major scientific polls of the people are against everything this government's doing, we send the Democrats to Congress to end the war, they increase it, and now they're saying they're going to be there 100 years, Hillary and McCain. I mean, that to me, that is a small group running things right there in front of us.
Absolutely. And as far as I can see, all those people attended the same meetings that you and the guys attended up in Canada. Am I wrong?
Oh, no, a lot of them do go to the Bilderberg group. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Is that freedom?
I don't think so. It's not democracy either.
Willie Nelson, you're blowing me away here. When we get back, I want to talk about solutions, your ideas, because the people are awake to a certain extent. I just don't think that they have the specifics of what to do. I want to tell them about some of your organizations and groups. And I agree with taking our everyday life into our own hands, like you've done with the biodiesel. That's a separate thing from what they're doing with the corn and other things. And I want to be sure and separate that out and explain that to people and what you've tried to do and all the money you put into trying to get us into renewable resources and things that are actually, will allow us to not continue to destroy the earth. We'll be right back. Oh, in fact, we're not going to go to break. I forgot. I told him to skip that break. I'm so used to going to break at the 20 after, and I told John to skip that so we've got more time here. I'm a little bit dumbstruck here talking to you, Willie. Solutions. I mean, you talk about how we do have this elite running things, and the evidence shows that, and the documents have been declassified. What are your ideas to get the people to mobilize to do something about it?
Well, the song that I wrote called Peaceful Solution, now all those people that recorded it believe, and so do I, that there is a peaceful solution. And it's called a peace revolution, and we just take back America. And we do it, vote it back, we do it, we make sure that the crooked ballot boxes are thrown away, we get a paper trail and everything, and make sure that good, honest people can get back in control. And that's the only way we're going to do it, is to just do it. You know what I mean?
Well, I think that's happening. Just in the news today, we're seeing that they've recruited 26,000 preachers the White House has through FEMA to tell their flocks to stand down, to turn in their guns, to follow orders, to do what the president says. In the Presidential Decision Directive 51, Bush says he's above the Congress. It's no longer involved in continuity of government. In the John Warner Defense Authorization Act, they have openly funded for insurrection and rebellion by the American people. The whole police state apparatus they built up after 9/11, and I want to get your take on this, Willie, because I know you're aware of it, is now being used against the people. They're not even talking about the boogeyman of Al-Qaeda anymore.
No, and I do believe that it's a long time till Election Day, and some sort of national crisis could put off the elections, and we could have George in there 10 years longer.
A lot of people are saying that. I was saying that many years ago, and now Bob Woodward's talked about how they're setting up for martial law. of all people. Naomi Wolf is talking about it. I think that might save us. I'm seeing a light at the end of the tunnel, but I think you're right. I think that's a great danger. If that did happen, a nuke went off, a biological weapon was released, or terrorists supposedly blew up a bunch of other buildings, what do you think the response of the population should be if they announce we're under this new emergency, or it could be an economic emergency, and Bush is going to have to stay on to save us?
Well, I would hope that we'd be smarter than that, and I would hope that we'd say, no, we're throwing all you guys out and we're starting over. You can stop the elections if you want to, but you can't stop the people.
Well, Ron Paul has gotten more donations from troops and people in Iraq than all Republicans combined. The troops in polls, 75% are against the war. So if Bush is planning on using these troops here, it looks like he's going to have a problem.
Well, again, the troops are under orders, and if they don't do what the orders are, then they get shot. So the troops have no choice. There's a few of them in there that are there because they think it's the right thing to do. There are a few there because they just like to fight. But there's a lot of them there, like you say, that would rather be home with their families and save our good men and women for something that really matters, for really something that is the defense of our country. If we need some people down here on the borders, let's take 150,000 people out of Iraq and put them on the borders of Canada and Mexico. We can secure our borders that way.
Well, how are we have this war on terror where there's an al-Qaeda terrorist under every bed, under every table? We got to have checkpoints and kids getting thumb scanned to get their lunches to stop al-Qaeda, but then the border's wide open. That kind of makes the war on terror look like a fraud. Well,
yeah, and, they're fighting over there because you remember the old joke about the guy that dropped a quarter and he was looking around. The guy said, where did you lose it? I said, I lost it over yonder. And he said, why are you looking over here for? I said, well, call the lights better. So, I think that's why they're over there, the lights better.
Well, it's a black hole to launder money and dump trillions of dollars in no-bid contracts to Halliburton.
Yeah, and there's nobody stopping it. And as long as it keeps going on and nobody stops it, I don't know what the end result will be. But
well, tyrants
it can't be good. It can't be good for us.
Well, you're right. Tyrants have known throughout history. They keep pushing. They keep testing. Tyranny doesn't come overnight. And I hope a lot of people that support this war, I hope you know, we have illegal wars not declared, torture, the rest of it. None of us are safe here. What comes around goes around. You reap what you sow, don't you, Willie?
Absolutely. 10 times over, I remember. And I'm not sure I want to get treated 10 times as bad as we're treating other people.
Hello again, my friends, and thank you for tuning in this evening. It is the 4th day of February, 2007. We're going to be getting into the latest 9/11 cover-up news as that cover-up continues to implode. Again, you were just watching sections of an interview I did today with Willie Nelson, and I really am rarely at a loss for words, but having a chance to meet Willie previously, having a chance to talk to him, and seeing the courage that he had to come on my radio show and no holds barred to talk about dictatorship, talk about police state, talk about government-sponsored terror is just amazing. And to learn that Willie, for many, many years, I've been on the air almost 13 years here, has been seeing the show, listening to the radio show, visiting the websites was really, really exciting. And, when I started out 13 years ago, I never expected to be interviewing people like Charlton Heston and Charlie Sheen and, of course, Willie Nelson, German defense ministers, members of British Parliament. The list just goes on and on. How many people that I've had a chance to talk to. But out of the thousands of people I've interviewed, Nobel Prize winners, top scientists, you name it, it was the most fulfilling today to be able to talk to Willie Nelson and to just talk to this down-to-earth person who I've been a fan of ever since I was a little kid, and to know that He's always cared about humanity. He's always been informed about these issues. On air, the whole hour-long interview is up on prisonplanet.com. He talked